So Wolves won, Southampton won, and I must say that Southampton will be counting their lucky vase after that performance from and the match officials. I didn't particularly think that either one of them were wrong or went against Wolves. I think the first one with the Jimenez handball, the fact that it was given on the field, I think didn't work in our favour. It looked like a handball from my seat as well. And then the second one, the offside, we've seen so often this season, the fine margins that the VAR goes to overrule goals. And I still think that there's a few problems. Well, there are a lot of problems with VAR. I do feel that it still has to be in the hands of the players because there were no appeals from the Southampton players for an offside. If they would have had a review like in cricket, would they have used it at that point, or would they have saved it for perhaps the penalty that we were given with Matt Doherty? I think their manager seems pretty aggrieved by that, and Matt Letizia as well on Twitter is saying that it didn't feel like it was a penalty. However, Wolves weren't at their best today. They were a little bit slow and lethargic, which you've seen in recent weeks. Whether the break has led to that, I'm not sure. But Neves looked off the pace. He made a few sloppy passes and gave away possession quite easily in the first half, and then was taken off at half-time for Matt Doherty, who I think contributed a lot to the game. I think we looked a lot better with Doc on the pitch, and obviously he won the penalty that we got us back into the game. I do feel a little bit sorry for Raul Jimenez. He would have had a hat-trick on without a with a poorer referee looking at the handball and without VAR. But these things I think will even themselves out over the season. This first half of the season we haven't had any VAR decisions go our way, but I'm sure that they will eventually. It's got to be said, Ryan Bennett came back into the team. There was other question marks over him recently as well, and the talk about profiles and that he was a high risk of a muscle injury. He then goes and picks up a muscle injury in the first 15 minutes of the game, which again, the second game in a row we're losing a defender down to a muscle injury. We had such a good record last season, not so well this season in that respect, but I think it showed how important Ryan Bennett is in that position. We saw Jesus come in and look absolutely out of his depth yet again. I don't know how Real Madrid ever signed him. So many times he put our own defence under pressure with his lack of ability on the ball, lack of composure on the ball, and just hoofing it long all the time, aimless passes or very, very high risk passes that didn't really go anywhere. And looking at our options at centre back now, I think personally I'd prefer Dendoncker in that role rather than him, because I don't trust him on the ball, and I think ultimately it was his error that cost us in the conceding the goal. I think it was a carbon copy of a mistake that he made at the beginning of the second half, where he played it back to Cody, and Danny Ings went through. Fortunately, it was a poor effort from that first one, but he wasn't going to make the same mistake twice, and he finished with aplomb. Cody as well, a lack of control. I think he was fortunate really that they scored, because had they have not scored, I believe that he was already on a yellow card, and it was a handball, an obvious handball from Cody, but he would have been sent off, and then Lord knows what would have happened after that. A word on Cotrone as well. I don't think at the moment he's showing his full potential at Wolves. There must be a player in there somewhere. There must be, otherwise AC Milan, despite not being the AC Milan that they were 10, 15, 20, 30 years ago, they are still a top team in Italy, and they were so sad to see him go, and he was playing so well there apparently, but he just looks like he's trying a little bit too hard at the moment. He's doing a lot of running, a lot of shouting and moving about, but not a lot of end product from him at all. No chances, no good runs or anything like that at the moment, and it's a little bit concerning the amount of money that we spent on him. But disappointing from him today, and Traore likewise. I think they doubled up on him, which he should be used to, because every team does it against him now. But he just looked, I was expecting a bit more of a confident player following the game against Manchester City, but he doesn't seem to have been able to capitalise on that. But one real positive for me was Raul Jimenez, and how much he's improved after the international break. He looked a little bit more composed on the ball. His first touch was a lot better, making the correct decision more often than not. And I was really pleased with how he's come on, following a nice relaxing tour around Great Britain with his girlfriend. But all in all, it's another point. But I think over the last couple of weeks, the sort of expectations have had to be reset a little bit. I think last season we did so well and overachieved so much that as fans, and we've seen the progress that we've made, and every year we've got better under Fosun. I do think that this year might be a little bit of consolidation, but I'd be happy with that. I think if we finished 13th and did well in the Europa League or in the League Cup or in the FA Cup, then I think that would be a very, very successful season, and I would be content with that. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to look out for the new podcast that's on my channel and also on Spotify and other places. There'll be another one of those Tuesday night, hopefully. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment and chat away. And yeah, I'm starting to enjoy football a bit now. Now the weather's getting colder and the weather's getting darker. Cricket is far back in the recesses of memory. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.